I'm going to talk you through 5 things you should do if you feel frustrated at work. Okay? Frustration can come as a result of a lot of things, right? And it is usually a lot of people don't take their time to think about what has gone down and basically meditate and say, okay, what's going on with me versus my career? And they solely base their decisions on one singular event, and they let that escalate, and then nothing pretty much ends well in that regard. If you feel unhappy, frustrated, you don't just feel like you're getting fulfillment from your work, this video is going to help you put things into perspective. Now, first thing I need you to do is take some time to think about it. Now, when I say take some time to think about it, you need to actively do this activity. You need to find a place where there's peace, silence, quiet, some place you enjoy. Find that place, that spot, and go and meditate. And you need to unpack everything that is going on within you. You need to unpack it, put it on the table, and then begin to analyze why you feel that way. And then in case you're asking me, so what are the kind of thoughts that I need to have for me to be able to diagnose what is going down? I've got a list of things I think will help you during your meditation. One of it you need to think about is it the people? Do I have an issue with the people? Because you need to know, in every organization, there are lots of things involved. It could be people, processes, systems, ways of working, policies, opinions, thoughts. It could be anything, right? So the first thing is it the people? And the people is mostly the most significant part of anything. So you need to know, do I have an issue with the people? Because if it's a people issue you have, how you will deal with it is different from if it is a technical problem you've got. Now, you want to also think about it. Is there a misalignment between where I expect to land in my career and the work I'm currently doing? Because obviously you expect the work that you're doing now to sort of help you align back to where you need to be in your career, right? So if you feel a misalignment, so for instance, you're a media person, you like to talk to people, you like to be a public speaker, you want to be whatever it is, okay, you want to be in front of the TV or whatever it is, but you find yourself somewhere doing something accounting related, or you're doing something science related that probably you don't see how that can translate into you becoming that person you see yourself to be. There may be a misalignment deep within you, and that would trigger little situations at work to escalate, just because the unhappiness that you're feeling is deeply rooted, has nothing to do with individual singular situations. Okay. Another thing you may want to think about is the quality of work that you are having to do, the complexity, the importance of the kind of work you're trying to do, or that of the tasks that are being handed to you. Does that trigger something within you? Do you feel like you are not doing important work? Because let me tell you, sometimes, in my experience, those people who feel like they should be in control of things, if they find themselves in situations where things are being delegated to them, it is not the people, it is not the task, it is just that they cannot cope with being told what to do. So that's a separate conversation and situation, okay? So that's why I am asking you to ask yourself, is it the type of tasks? Is it your personality? Because I also struggled with it at first. When things were always handed off to me, it felt like I was doing scraps and I wasn't doing something interesting. It felt like if someone thought they couldn't do a piece of work because they thought it was boring, then they handed it off to me. And I did not like that myself. So is that the problem? Because if you know the problem, then you can know the correct approach to resolving it, right? Another thing is this something outside of work? And let me tell you, this sometimes forms a significant portion of the reasons why people are unhappy on their jobs. It will shock you. People think that is the work, but sometimes it is lack of joy in another area of their lives that is flowing into their work. So for instance, this is very typical. If you're in a bad marriage, for instance, you're married to someone who maltreats you or tortures you emotionally. When you get to work, obviously you can use work as your coping mechanism, but it is hard for you to find joy at work either. Because every single day, even though you feel you've escaped home, by the time you're getting ready to go back home, you feel all sorts of emotions flowing through you. And the thoughts about you going back to that very terrible, toxic situation every single day will not even make you productive at work. And guess what's going to happen at work? People will begin to see that you're not pulling your weight. Not everybody cares what's going on in your home that is causing you to not pull your weight at work. And that can escalate badly. Can you see how something outside of work can really impact work? It could be the situation that you have a loved one who is sick, or you're a carer. Maybe caring for your old parents or caring for a child with complex needs. It can be anything. You can see how that can come in and can distort your performance at work. So if you know why you feel unhappy, then you can basically come up with structure and framework to resolving it. I'm still on my number one tip, which is take some time to meditate. And to close that out, I'm going to give you an example. So if it is the case, for instance, that you've got a child with complex needs and that is stressing you out and affecting your performance at work, you can then sit down and say, okay, what support do I need? Do I need to get external help that can help me feel, that can lighten my burden? Can I get a nanny? Can I get the help of medical doctors? Can I get the help of whoever, right? What can I do to relieve this burden? And these are things that you need to think about. And then if somebody else coming on board to help you reduces that burden, it means you can be happier and you can show better at work. That may not take all the problem away. The fundamental problem is still the fact that you still have a kid with complex needs, but the fact that you are not dealing with it alone gives you enough mental space to focus on your work and get more joy out of it. Okay? Or extend more joy to it because you have more joys to share. Okay? That's number one. So meditate to determine what the problem is so that you can then structure solutions that fit and help you reduce the impact of that problem. Okay? The next thing I will say is this. Determine within you if you feel that this issue is being blown out of proportion. And we as humans, we fall into this trap from time to time. We take a simple matter that has happened, a simple case that has happened, and we blow it out of proportion. You need, if as an experienced professional or as someone who is beginning to get to mid-level management, or as a career professional generally, you should get to a point where you can separate facts from sentiment. It is a skill. You need to, what is fact? For instance, I did not speak up in a meeting where my work was being discussed. Is facts because you did not speak up. Okay? My boss mentioned that I did not speak up and that I should improve on my confidence and speak up more about the work that I do. That is fact because your boss mentioned it. Okay? So that's fact. Stay with facts. Now, sentiments can be, I feel like not speaking up in meetings is going to end my career. That is sentiment. How will not speaking up end your career? it will not end your career, because you know that not speaking up isn't great for your career. But if you work on it, nothing is going to go wrong with your career. So that's sentiment. I can never make it working in this industry. It's sentiment. Just because you didn't speak up in 1 or 2 meetings and that was called up for you as a development point does not mean you're not going to make it in the industry. That's sentiment. My boss hates me because I don't speak up often. Is sentiment. You don't know that your boss hates you, except your boss comes to you and say, I hate you. Okay? So that's sentiment. Nobody hates you because you don't speak up. People want you to develop. That's why they mention it for you as a development point, so that you can work on it. And with time, you begin to develop that side of you. Okay? I am not like the other people here, so I am going to fail faster. You don't know that you are not like other people. And why should you be like other people in the first place? You are you. You are different. You are a special breed. You bring color to your team. You are diverse. There is no point being another person. Okay? And because you may be more introverted does not mean you cannot speak up in meetings where your work is being discussed. They're two different things. And if you want to be a leader, you have to learn to lead from the front. And that's why those skills are necessary for you to succeed. And so, the fact is you did not speak up. The fact is you should learn to speak up. It's as simple as that. Nobody hates you. Nobody's hating you. All of those are sentiments. Okay. Another sentiment is for you to say, I just keep failing. The more you say these negative things to yourself, the more you feel depressed, frustrated, and anxious. Okay. The next thing I want you to think about is ask, what can I do right now that help me, or that will help me address these facts that I have noted? Okay. So I have noted, for instance, that I do not speak up in meetings. Is it a confidence issue? And how do I resolve it? And if it's a confidence issue, for instance, I know for a fact that that is a muscle that you need to stretch. So it means you need to begin to practice how to speak up in meetings. Okay? It starts with meetings with one-on-one, 2 people to yourself, 3 to yourself, little by little, then you begin to speak to hundreds and hundreds of people. I facilitate and attend webinars and events week in, week out, with hundreds of people, with tens and hundreds of people. And I facilitate meetings at work with tens and tens of people. And I know that it comes with time and you can develop it. So the question is, what do I need to do? Do I need to take a course? Do I need to watch videos around it? Do I need to practice and exercise? Do I need to practice by myself at home? Do I need to have my thoughts outlined so that it is easy for me to then speak up? Start thinking about all of those things. Another thing is, you may think about it. Who do I need to talk to help me, or to hold my hands and help me? Who do I need to talk to? Now, these conversations may be uncomfortable, but you need to find who can help you pretty much address this issue. Okay, the next thing I will say to you is convert your frustration using a positive narrative. So I feel so frustrated. I feel like nobody's looking my way. I feel like I'm not getting the kind of project that I want to get that will give me the visibility that I need to progress in my career. All sorts. Convert those into positive narrative. So for instance, you could say, maybe a point was raised for you around project management that, Ore is just not pulling our weight when it comes to project management. We did not meet our deadlines the last 2 months and all of that. Instead of you also saying, Ore is so bad with project management, is Oreoluwa is working on our project management skill and she's using this opportunity to pick up on those skills so that going forward, our team will not miss deadlines. They are two different things. So you must find a way to convert negative things into positive things. And it's not just about saying fantastic words of affirmation. It's you acting those positive things. So you could say something like, I'm going to take a course, and that course is going to help me, be better at project managing, be better at managing myself and managing others for results. Okay. The last thing I'm going to say is this: communicate often. when you feel frustrated, don't gossip about your frustration with people that cannot resolve it. Address the issue. Talk to the right people that can help you be better. Talk to the right people that can help you develop those things you need to develop. Have little conversations. I don't mind. Like, personally, if I have a development point, for instance, and I have development points. I'm not perfect. I'm a working class lady, and I get my reviews. And someone say, "Oh, already didn't do this. I thought we should have done this." I take them and I run with it. And I talk to everybody that I need to talk to. I say, okay, a development point was raised for me, for instance, that I should begin to think about attending these level of meetings, these top level directors kind of meetings, for instance. The next thing I'm doing is I'm not fighting it. I'm not saying, oh, why would they raise that for me? I don't have that opportunity. The next thing I'm saying is, I need to start still staying in front of this class. I need to start fitting into those bigger rooms. And for that to happen, I need the opportunity. And I need to be talking to the people that can consider me for the opportunities. And I will be having small conversation, like when we go for coffee run and like, this meeting is coming up next month. Do you presume you can add me to the invite? I'm talking to the right people. And I'm like, oh yeah, why not? Come, join me. Let's go together. Yes. So you need to be having little conversations that move you towards results, not gossiping with people that can't help you. Like, that boss, I don't even like him. He doesn't like me. All of that is not going to resolve your issue. Okay, so I hope this has helped. So when you feel frustrated, don't forget to unpack it, meditate. Make sure you meditate. Determine if separate facts from sentiment, because you don't need sentiment. Stick with the facts, okay? Ask yourself, how do you resolve it? So take massive action to resolving it. Convert all of those negative things, those frustrations, convert them into positive narrative, okay? And make sure you're having those bite-sized conversation that moves you towards the results you're looking for. Thank you very much, and see you in the next video.